How are you guys? And happy Friday. It is cocktails and cards tonight, so I'm doing a cocktail right now. I guess it has to be closer to my face. I was at a little market today on my way home, and so I'm just going to pour a little bit of, it's a honey spiced rum, brand new, and making a little bit of that. Let's see if I put this down here. And a little bit of ginger beer. Ginger ale and ginger beer I always think of as coffee in, not coffee, party in a cup. But what's to do? Getting ready to go and make cards. Are we ready? So I was coming home from the airplane today and stopped off at a little marketplace halfway between the city and my place. And they had this lovely little gin store that's made in Calgary, Alberta. And they also have rum, and they have a brand new honey rum for this Christmas season. And I thought, well, that sounds like Christmas cards to me. And so I thought it would be a good idea to give it a try. Let's see. Honey rum. So instead of using like molasses, it's, the only thing, it's not dark. So that's kind of interesting to me. So let's see. Oh, big gulp. Okay, between the ginger beer and the spice, it's good, but it's going to make me cough. So I might have to sip on that after the card class. Woohoo! So we're going to make some cards today. I actually was trying to prep up for some reels while I was gone down to Las Vegas. So I've just come home from Las Vegas. I am Lori LaRose. I have Active Stamping here, and I make cards. And I think I dropped one reel this week. I meant to drop 3, and I've got the cards. And of course, it's me, so I didn't actually, my lighting is really bad. But anyways, I didn't actually do them, and I didn't actually glue them down. So I will glue some together with you, and then I'll drop the reels next week. But anyways, chin chin. I'm just thinking I was more busy making my drink now than grabbing the stuff. So I'll pop you down to look at, a sneak peek at one of the things that I ordered that's going to be available here. Maybe it is available now. I think it's available now. I have to tell you, I may or may not be a leader in this business. I was at the leadership conference. I'm having a tough time following when and what is available when, because we get to order it. I think you guys get to order it right now, so you can get ahead for Valentine's, which is sort of interesting. But the better thing is some of these are going to make some really cute Christmas cards. So I'm not working with this one right now, but we will. Okay, hang on. Okay, the rum is nice. It's a strong rum though. Okay, where's this little guy? I'll leave you down here for this while I run. I'll just be 1 second. Oh, you're so far back there to get you on there. Lara. Hi, sorry. I'm seeing somebody come on there. All right. My lighting seems really weird, you guys, and I'm sorry about that. I don't know if it's Facebook or my world. So I just got a couple things. I'll leave you in there with peeking at that, and you can read. Tell me if there's a favorite expression of those 4 expressions. Which one's yours? Sorry about that, you guys. Like I said, I was more busy making my drinks. It is cocktails. Hello, Xena. How are you doing? I was just making, if you're just coming on, just pouring myself a little cocktail for the Cocktails and Card Hour. Got a brand new one for all Albertans out there. Burwood, and they have a new spiced honey. It's on sale this month till the end of November, and it is yummy. I like a dark and stormy. This is funny because it's not a dark rum, but it is a honey spiced rum, and it is yummy. So I was working with that one, and I will work with it now. How does that sound? Let's put that there and see how we go. All right, gals. So this Valentine Kisses, I'm pretty sure it's available. I actually got a sneak peek. I wonder where that is. We got our new catalog for the January, February, March, April dealio too. So that's kind of fun as well. This is not it. This is your September one. And I'm pretty sure the bears aren't in here. I'm pretty sure that the bears are available. That end by me. All right. Delicate Pines you're going to see me working with probably all next week. I'll get going with that one. And so on and so forth. All right, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Look how cute he is. Oh my gosh. So now I am curious. I actually have to look at this. Sorry. I just pulled this out. I'm kind of curious the sizing here. Is he the same size? I don't think he's going to be the same size, is he? Oh, he is the same size. Oh, interesting. I would have thought this was smaller than what I was seeing. So you know how sometimes that happens. But clearly, these guys, no. And they don't even go on the same way. So they've made them all the same direction, even though they're not there. So these were some of the comments that are being made by demonstrators, that we don't actually have a way to line these up anymore. So you'll see several people until Stampin' Up! Is working towards, they're hearing us, that we're like, what? We're used to having, I'll get a stamp set so you know what I'm trying to say. We're used to having the images on this side. That's all great and beautiful to look at. We're also used to this, but some of us are willing to give that up for the storage of this, so that's cool. But on the inside, we can line these guys up, and in a heartbeat, we can see if something's missing. We also know where to put them back. And the complaint right now, of course, is, well, so what people are suggesting doing, and this is my first set, so I may as well do this too before I start drinking all my cocktails, is to open up your dealio, grab your favorite ink color, pull off the soft, and actually this is even going to be better because by pulling off the soft, we're going to have these the right way. One of the big complaints back in the day was that these were actually backwards for whatever reason. We're like, why do they have to be backwards? Why? That still is an unsolved mystery in my mind. But I have Secret Sea, which is one of my favorite colors. And so I'm going to just tap, tap. If I do this on here, you can see what I'm doing, but I'll just tap, tap, tap these guys. And then I will be able to lay this over top and be able to lay these back down here. And in my case, because I want to do it on this one, well, it doesn't really matter actually, but I will always have them, my hard piece down, and I pull back and forth the other thing. So then I can just flip this guy over and press this. And this wouldn't be bad if you take a block without shifting this. The first time I've done this, so, but you could take the block and you could press each piece just right over top of the, so they're all attached still to the plastic. That way then I can come back anytime and be able to put them all back on the sheet because they all have their same place again. Stampin' Up! Did address this from the stage. They do not have, they're not committing to a solution quite yet, but they're hearing us and they know that we would like a solution. I think 96% of us are also like, well, this isn't so hard. And everybody has a different idea and take on it. So instead of having one size fits all, let's just do this. So then as you pull this up, ta-da! So then, oh, that was all handy, but now this isn't this. So I will have the soft piece down. All right. So I get to see it, but seeing it's less good because I do put, I work with pulling them off of the hard, not this. Okay, so we'll live and learn. You do want to carefully peel them onto your plastic sheet so they're backwards and then press them down, and then when you put the hard down. Yeah. Solution for this obviously is pull them all off and start again. But anyways, they're all inky and dirty. Watch for part 2 tomorrow or Monday. Anyways, isn't that pretty? The one thing you do get to see, and I don't know if I'll ever tire, 23 years in this business, and I don't think I'll ever tire of, I love the fonts and the images stamped. So I can look all I want. Definitely, I can look all I want on the labels. I can look in a catalog when one of you guys order from me, and I, back in the old days for sure, when they used to come to me and then I would pass them along to you, I would see it, I wouldn't have ordered it, and I'll be like, oh, do I need this? Oh, I could resist it in the catalog. When I had it in my hand, if it was still iffy, if I ever put any one of these things into ink, as soon as I lift up that thing, it's like, and I don't know why, but this is more pretty than this, even though you totally can see what the heck's going on. This is still, I love it. So magic. Okay, so the one thing for sure, I don't know if you can still see, I gotta be really careful with this. Our ink takes a little while to dry on the shiny paper, so I'm gonna set that well aside. and we'll go from there. So we're going to make some one sheet wonder kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to keep track. So I've got different clubs going on and whatnot. And I of course, don't want to share what I'm giving to the... So I have a club, and of course, they're paying a monthly fee. And I don't want to give away things that I'm giving them, obviously, because people pay for them. So then I need to remember what's what. But this is, yes, 92% sure this is... I was going to do this for the groups, just the club, just my active stamping. All right, it is Friday night, thank goodness, because when you bring in your cocktail, and if I forget what or if not forget, well, you can do it then too. But if I can't find what I'm looking for, you can take a little sip. And currently I'm trying to find a project. One plus is that I am actually got some not product. See, I can't even talk. It has been a very fulfilling and fabulous week being in Las Vegas, Nevada, baby. Went for a hike yesterday in the beautiful Fire Valley. I'll post a couple pictures of that. But I was with leaders, around demonstrators from around the globe, and simply loving it. I'll put this out here. Isn't that pretty? So I was working with a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and I was turning it into something beautiful. Da, 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 da. And I will do 2 of them. How's that sound? I don't know what I was going to say. I just am tired. Mostly, I guess I'm trying to say I'm tired. All right. So I think maybe Monday night I'll have you all bring on hi, Anne Louise. I'll have you all bring on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and we will work through a couple of these on Monday and Tuesday and tonight kind of thing. But you can just watch a couple of them coming together and pique your interest. The paper that you want to choose will be one that has both sides that you really like. Probably best for them to be multi-directional, both pieces. These ones are from, I feel like they're from the Traditional Christmas. No, Traditional Christmas is, no, that's modern. Ugh. Hang on a second, you guys. Just a minute. I think it is Traditional Christmas. It is the Traditions of Christmas. So this set that goes with that stamp set, and so Traditions of Christmas. And then I pulled in like the Old Olive, the Secret Sea, and the Cherry Cobbler. This also has real red in it. It says. I was trying to kind of work with the Pool Party, because Pool Party's definitely in here. But I was not liking that quite as much. I did not like it. I didn't feel it was Christmassy with this particular paper as a whole base. So I'm going to look online for more of that. Okay. The one last strip that we cut, and I will walk you through this on Monday night, and then Tuesday night we can finish off the rest of the cards kind of thing. So I'm going to sneak peek them today, show it Monday, and then we can recap and finish off the other 2 cards, because we make something like 8 cards, I think it is. But these pieces come from that last strip that's 2 inches by 12 inches. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, I gotta put this dirty my inky bear somewhere. Hang on a second. So we did get the catalog. The online for demonstrators also dropped at lunchtime, I think, at our leadership, and everybody was able to access it. And then we got a catalog at the very end of the day. Well, not the very end, actually. At 4:30 as we were closing out. And then they got us dressed up into cowboy outfits and made us a cowboy hat. And Monday I will wear my cowboy hat on. And we went from there. Okay, does this say that it's bubble bath on here? Musta. So weird. It doesn't say it's bubble bath. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, on the backs of our paper, there's always the colors, and it actually does not say bubble bath, but there's definitely a pink in this paper, pink in the paper. So I pulled in bubble bath for a couple of mine, and I folded it 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of paper in half. And then I'm going to take a piece of 5.25 by 4 and putting that on there. And I feel like this might be the heavy side. So when I taught way more classes in my home as opposed to online, I would tell the girls as they're cutting, cut it a heavy. So, and I always meant that was on the other side of the, you know, when you've got a line, you can either have your paper here, here, or there kind of thing. And so if it's heavy, it's the line plus, and if it's light, I mean for you to do it light, basically I mean a 1/16 of an inch off kind of thing. This one is definitely a 1/16 more because there's hardly a border on there, and there should be 1/8 of an inch, and there looks like there's about a 1/16 all the way around. With one of the sections we had left, I chose to not cut one into 2 pieces to make 2 cards. I chose to make one less card by having, this paper was just so pretty. I couldn't bear not to have one whole card from that whole 12 by 12 piece, not be just the full panel like this. So this piece is 4 inches by, no, it'll be just about 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, I think, if I'm right. And that's gonna layer nicely inside of that other one. And for you to see, I will show you. See, that pink looks so good. So totally there's bubble bath in this. I'm not quite sure why it's not on the back package, but there it is. All right, so then this guy will lay in here. And then I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 23 years, and I have a set called Painted Poinsettia. I have the dies as well as the stamp set, and they are a fabulous set. And so I was able to make a bunch of cherry cobbler poinsettias, and then I just got brand new, where are those guys? I just saw them. Go ahead and have a drink while I look. I just pushed them out of the way. They may have even been on here when I started my video. Oh, here they are. These pretty guys, which are really hard to see without being on something white. Oh, I got mail too. I need to show that next week, I guess, too. These pretty pink guys. And I don't know where you're gonna have another drink because I have no idea what they're called. And I'm not sure where, you know how they come with a little cardboard piece. I don't know where that is either. So anyways, they are a little frosted. They have a little tiny bit of gold on them. Can you see that? Little chips of gold in there? And they run from some pinky color through the bubble bath and onwards. And on top of, I used the clear ones, obviously, and they've turned actually kind of interesting. They turned more yellowy even, like a real nice gold all the way through. And so I love to ink edges of my dies if I'm creating flowery kind of things because it adds a little bit of dimension. So with a finger dauber and ink, pretend that's ink. I'm pretending this is ink. I daub. This is 2 different pieces glued together in the middle, and then put a little tiny. And on that one I did 1, but I have another one that I did the 3 little ones on it too. Then if you take your bone folder or a pencil, that's handy. If you curl your edges a little tiny bit, they don't obviously stay 100% because you're going to put it in an envelope and mail it flat. But it's kind of interesting by putting the shape in once and then you put it on. And I'm just going to glue that center section. And you could even pop it up, whichever of the 2. But by doing the fluffing, even if it kind of flattens out, it kind of almost doesn't completely. I've received many in mail that look sort of like that still through the years of different things. So you have that little tiny bit of dimension. From the labels of where I grabbed this out of, lost the set again to show you. Oh, for goodness sakes, you guys are going to be drunk tonight. Do drink with care, but have another drink because I've lost what I'm trying to show you. Where on earth did it go? Where did you go? Oh, for goodness sakes. Anyways, comes with labels. Traditional labels, I think it's called. And one of my favorites, I'll bring it over and show you what it is this one in my hand. I'm just cutting it out right now. Hold on, I'll be right over there. And it's one that you actually definitely cut out first and then stamp it. I think. Well, I'm positive. I don't think I think. I think I know. All right, coming up this month, I am doing a little promotion for a fabulous, your best December ever. And I'm inviting you all to experience December with Lori LaRose and slow down the season, live it with intention, be aware, and not just curate and save your memories, but let's make some memories. And I'm going to do daily prompts for the month of ideas and whatnot to do with your family, or if family is far blown and you're an empty nester like myself, say, you can also relive your memories, maybe your childhood memories or maybe your children's childhood memories of times when you did stuff, and curate a scrapbook of all those beautiful times. So, how much would this experience cost you? Guess what? It's totally free. What? Come and join me simply by ordering $100 worth of stuff from me, through me, and I can help you do that. I can also give you a suggested idea, a few ideas of what I think would make that book dynamic. We have these cute little 6x8 albums. So I would probably pop one of those on and maybe an extra layer of these little guys here. And yes, I guess I am name dropping accidentally. I actually got to skate with Kurt Browning. What? Look at me in my cute little outfit. Da, 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 da. Me and my daughter were able to be part of a skate gala. It was a tribute to Kurt Browning's numbers over the years. Under the Sea was one of the ones that he did at one point. And I was the mermaid, and I had a whole bunch of little fishes swimming with me. I took lessons back in 2014, evidently. Would I have known the year if I hadn't have captured that? No. So we had a gala, and Kurt Browning came because he's from around my area, and he came and skated on our ice with us. So much fun. Anyways, okay. So yeah, so I have a suggestion of a couple things, but you can curate your stuff anywhere you want, be it whichever. And then if you just buy a bundle and some paper or something just to play along, just to have spent, then you can. But I can definitely help you get started and organized with that. So this is one of the labels, and they're super cool because they have a little extra ridge there, so that's super fun. And you know what? I'm going to pull up, in case you guys are asking any questions, my Facebook page. I'm going to stamp this one. I think I'll stamp this in the green. So I'm finding that either shaded spruce is really pretty with this combination, even though I'm using old olive lots. Old olive would be pretty too. Why don't I do an old olive? Let's do it. Old olive, shaded spruce, or Secret Sea is what I'm trying to say. All of those would be nice. Let's pull up my active stamping. So I'm calling it December Daily. And again, it's the whole experience of just of living your best December ever. I've been part of photo ones and memory making ones before, and they're awfully fun. Okay, I really am going to have to find my stamp set because I want to use this. Oh, here it is. So you can have a drink, but then you can also stop drinking because I found them. Traditional labels. I love this DSP as well. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Betty. Hi, Alexina again. All right. So we just have a couple comments, so that's okay. I'm wondering if you guys have a favorite of these. If you found a good combination of how you're using these. To you, this almost should say cheers to you in my mind. Then that would make a really good, happy New Year's one. I do love this 'Tis the Season. I was using it and I didn't know it was from the set. So it was like, oh, yay, that's awesome. Look at this beautiful Merry Christmas. This is actually 2 stamps. So you're able to do the Merry and the Christmas, which I have done before. And then I am going to use the Sending Love and Cheer. And the Season's Greetings are made perfectly for this. And Bright. So this would be the Merry and Bright, but they have allowed those to be separate as well. Sending Love and Joy. You know what? I'm going to do the Merry and Bright this time because why wouldn't I? May as well work with stuff while I've got it, hey? Okay, and Bright and Merry. Here we go. Do you guys have a very favorite Christmas set that you've been working with? All right. Sometimes we often teach, not that I think you should only have one big block. I do think little blocks add stability, but sometimes when you're being very specific of where you want to stamp something, if you have a little bit larger block and you have your Merry on the block, you can very clearly see through and it's all clear. If you have a smaller block that just fits the Merry, and this one actually is even large as well, but even that already is making it a little bit harder to see. Totally can still see it, but there's different shadows and stuff. If you literally use this little guy, although you have full control over rocking and stuff, somehow or another it gets even harder to see. Do you guys see? It's harder to see. Do you see that it would be harder? Do you see how that's just... I learned that actually from an artisan, like one of the stamp makers discovered that that was a pretty good idea. So, except that I have the light bulbs right in my eyeballs. So I'm going to put the And Bright. Now this barely fits on here. Hang on a second. Wow. I am not positive this is for here actually. I might be wrong. Sending Love and Joy. I saw the And Bright, and in my mind, okay, I was like, that's cool. But the And Bright is all in one line. This And Bright is going to be squishy. Oh, rats. Hang on one second. I'm going to do this. Instead of wasting my beautiful piece of paper, I'm going to bring this negative over here. Oh, no, it won't work. I was going to bring the negative over, and in my mind, I was going to see, but I won't get a good chance. This is so tight. I don't think I'm going to like that. Like, it'll work, but it's going to be on the edges. All right, that's going to be for a different set. How does this Merry work? And it's funny. Oh, well, the Merry does work. See, it is supposed to be like that. But this And Bright should have been And Bright. All right, so I'm going to ink half of this and then the other half. Get ready. I am doing a whole bunch of stuff now. Don't you love stamping with me? You get to see my whole process and my frustrations and how I work through my frustrations. Now, we don't need to be so close. Hold on a second. Let me get you back again. So on the edge of this, so I do find that I am a red rubber girl, having been started back in the days when it was all red rubber. I do have to say I do love my red rubber a lot. One of the reasons was our ink, which the markers now are on sale because we hardly use ink anymore because we don't have that ability, and they are getting rid of the photopolymer, so they figured the last vestige of people that used the Stampin' Right markers practically are done. So there's my And I'm going to put that And maybe about here. I'm hoping this will work nicely. Nice. I'm going to clean the And off and put the brand part on. No, not brand. And brand. That was a nice mersh of the Bright. I could brand. Ha ha. See, I guess now I have to play that. Since we were just at a thing, I really am going to have to go show you. We got our hats branded. And maybe that's why between the Bright and the and the branding of my hat. So if you're very careful and you just kind of watch, you can do this. But if I was very smart, I would show you the other way to actually do this more fail-proof. So I'll do that in 1 second. Because I'm gonna do brand since I've got this. Okay. And then, and bright. Oh, this isn't gonna fit. Okay, I'm gonna get this right close because it's 2 different fonts. I think I'll be okay. Rats, the and should have been over. Okay, so that's a good lesson. Do your bright first, since I knew I was doing the and over, and had hoped I was far enough over. In this case, because I don't know how far I need to go, do the one that's to the edge, and then I could have worked backwards much nicer. Hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna have to redo this because of course I don't like that. But so when I do it again, I will stamp bright first, and I will have the T will be where the H is essentially. And then when I bring in the and, it'll be easy to know where to place it. And this little guy right there is why I'm going to show you the other way to do this. So again, cleaning this. Okay, you guys can be rewarded for me making mistakes. Have a little drink. Again, I am drinking, I think it's Burrend honey rum. And it's quite yummy. Actually, it's really, really yummy. I do love a ginger beer. Okay, in this case, you take your little tape. You cover up what you don't want. In this case, I don't want the I or the A or anything. I just want the R. I couldn't quite cover up the A, so I'm needing 2 pieces of tape in this case. So now I have that, and I'm just going to do it right here because I'm not going to, well, no, I won't. I'll do it on another piece of paper. I'm going to do it on this because I'll probably end up doing this somehow. So you're going to just tap, tap, tap it on here, and it'll go onto the tape as well. And then before you stamp, you pull off your tapes and you stick your letters on. Okay. Ta-da. And then I'm going to do the same again. And I'm going to cover up all of this. All of me loves all of you. What is that song? That just popped into my head. I don't even know where it came from. So when you are doing it, you want to make sure that you don't cover up any of the one that you want. So again, I'm going to, and I do remember as I'm stamping this live on TV, as I always say, I'm forgetting that I need to, come on. This probably is where your picker tool would come in really nice. So you can flop this up, grab good hold of it, pull it up, and I'm making brand. Again, why? Because I was at a rodeo thing. A frontier. There. Oh, do you know what's funny? I didn't even think of it. I just finished saying that it was 2 different sizes, and it is. So it kind of works and kind of not. I just wanted it to, but it doesn't. So that's perfect. Okay, and then this, the Mary, is going to be really good. And no fancy stuff. So masking with tape. Masking with masking tape is a good idea. Let's go with that idea. And maybe masking tape would be better than the other. All right, and then your Mary, if I could get some green on here. Totally need to re-ink after I sign off today. This is going to be good. So I want the Mary to be on that curve because it's there. You can change your curve as you need it. And there is, oh, I have an ombre Mary and bright. The idea is going to be nice. And the and will be over. It'll be nice. It's just not nice. So to stand in for that, I'm going to bring in the Sending Love because that's one that's really good. On the back of these, on the top, I'm going to have a couple dimensionals, and I'll glue the bottom. And then what will happen is this will be popped up just that slight little tiny bit. Can you see that, I think? So then you'll have just that little tiny bit of dimension. So it'll be super cool. We're going to bring this in. I also, excitedly, just bought another one that kind of reminds me of this set, actually. Ironically, that this is what I grabbed. What is it called? It's right here. No drinking. I got it right here. These little guys. So excited to have them. Little diamonds. These are 2 different ones. There's 1 star. 2 kind of squirrely things. This is one of the squirrely things. I did it in Cherry Cobbler. And it is called Swirled Designs Dies. And it comes with a stamp set that is, none of these cut that out, but they're kind of the back shadow for it. And they're pretty snazzy. So you'll see me working with that later. Okay, so then we have this. I thought I would just put this sort of at an angle, a jaunty angle. Bring in my stamping, sending joy. Bring in a beautiful of this guy. Layer him just that little smidgen. Maybe have this over, so this is here. And then I thought I would have a little tiny bit of greenery. The greenery comes actually from the Noel from last year. This particular die has mistletoe, no, not mistletoe, holly leaves. So holly looks nice underneath this. Or actually, if you run this back through again in green and cut them, these, because really that's what poinsettias are, is their leaves are their own leaves, FYI, just in green, and it's just that some of them turn red kind of. So I thought that that would be kind of pretty. And definitely you could add a pretty bow onto this. And I had some little gold. It was just right here, my gold. Here it is. Haha! Before you could even drink, I had it. Does that disappoint you guys? Teasing. All right, and then we can bring in some pretty gold as well. And that is one. So this is a very classic looking card of that situation. How fun is that? You guys like that one? Okay, second one from this is, I started with a old olive base. I think you guys are still there, right? Maybe not. I might have lost you in the masking world. So I went with an old olive. This one's fairly simple. From the way that we're going to cut it, we're going to have 2 chunks of paper, basically like this. And like I said, what we're going to want is on Monday night, you're going to bring a 12 by 12 sheet, and I'll show you how to cut it. And we're going to make several cards. We'll make several of them that night. I'll review these 2. And then you'll have, Tuesday night, we'll finish them off. This one I'm going to flip over. So you want the 2 sides to really go well together, that you're going to really like the way they layer together. And also that there's very little direction. I think we'll be a little bit frustrated. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm pretty sure we'll be frustrated. I know for a fact we'll be frustrated because these guys are cut this way and this way, so you won't have. And possibly, I guess you could turn, no, well, maybe. Anyways, have them be, try and find not directional stuff. So this one here, I am going to bring in, fairly simple, this guy again. I could add more. I always think of the one sheet wonder sort of being more simple, easy to stack together. But absolutely, we could obviously pull in this little guy again behind there. And then I thought I would pull in, this one I don't even actually think that we need anything, but we could put in a couple rhinestones and just the ribbon. And ta-da! Just like that, that one's done. How pretty is that? Again, we could do more, but because this is such a smaller layer, I don't know that it's necessary. And then we also could add some greenery, though fairly simply, and that might be kind of pretty as well. And possibly I have another piece. This isn't quite the right color, but we'll pretend it is, underneath this side, so that the bow is on something. That might not be a bad idea. Oops, get over here, you little sucker. And yeah, something like that. That's pretty. So I'll bring these guys back over here. And that's 2 of the several cards we can make, and we'll start putting together. So I will give you the cutting instructions for that Monday. So come back and watch me on Monday. Bring your 12 by 12 piece of paper and cut along with me, and we'll go from there. All right. And as we get working through 12 by 12, that is something you could add to your shopping list. That is part of your $100 of products that if you order whatever you choose, I can give you some suggestions that I'll be using during the December daily. We will not be curating the entire album, but we will be having, it really is about the experience of slowing down the season, living each day with some intention, looking for the prompt throughout your day. One example of that might be, one of the prompts I got, a dozen years ago, was shadows. And surprisingly, where I found my shadow, it was from the lights on the Christmas tree. When I turned off the rest of the lights in my living room, the lights from the Christmas tree actually cast a shadow of the spruce needles on the floor. And it was such a cool feeling to see that. And then of course I did capture it with film. But the bottom line was, I wouldn't have noticed it. I wouldn't have slowed down for it. I wouldn't have been watching for it. And while I watched for things throughout the day to capture, you're much more aware of everything that's going on. And you might save it thinking, oh, if she says that. So, and for the most part, I don't know that any of them are like so basic as, hey, take something red. And some of them go a little bit deeper than, hey, you're going to decorate your tree. Yeah, absolutely take pictures of decorating the tree. But within that, there might be subsets of your favorite ornament and stuff. So I hope you'll join me because it's super fun. It is totally free. You just need to shop with me the one time and then you can play along and see sort of what is in store and slow down your season. All right. I will talk with you guys later. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully my voice rests up. I did a lot of talking with a lot of people. I will make some posts over the weekend of a few of those people, including the heads of state. They have always been at my upline, as I consider them, corporate Stampin' Up. So year after year, I get my pictures taken with them, and this year was no fail on that. We're saying goodbye to one of our dear friends, Scott Nelson, our CFO, is retiring in the end of December, but it was really nice to see him one more time and his his beautiful, lovely wife, Pam. And so that was nice. And then always to see Dave, and then I get to see Sarah, and I got to see Shelly, and I actually didn't post a picture yet, but I actually did one fun thing with her on what do you call it? We were doing some, when you see those circle lights going around. I've got one of those up now with a different gang. I was asked to be included in several of them, so that was super fun. I'll spare you most of them, but I did post one already, and I'll post the one obviously with Shelly Gardner, because why wouldn't I? That was super cool memory to have and hold on to. All right, I will talk with you guys later. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you later, alligators. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.